All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We had a monster day today, plus 3,000 on TQQQ. Was a nice strong day on them. We'll break down the trade soon, mostly scalping. And then I just want to show year to date, triple Q has really just been the source of my gains. So as you can see, triple Q right here, I've made over 6,700 on them. It's just wild. A lot of money made on them, which is great. And then just showing the last 31 days. I'm up 7,800 in the last 38 days, but mostly my gains have been just coming from triple Q, which is awesome. So definitely proud of that. I added all of this money to 1Q, which is the single NASDAQ. So what I did was I've been just buying the death of 1Q because in the future, this is going to pay off well. You want to put your money in long-term investments like this NASDAQ. I'll show it at the end, but I think I have around like 5,000 or 5,600 now invested into 1Q with an average of like 52, 53 or something. But that's what I'm doing. I'm using triple Q. I don't hold triple Q. I day trade them. And then I try to just put the gains in the NASDAQ for the long term because when you look at it, I mean, the last 10 days, it's ridiculous how much it's sold off. This is so oversold. It was trading at almost 80 to 70 to $80 a share. It's down to 48. So we'll get a bounce back eventually. I'm willing to wait for it in 1Q. And I only have 5,600 invested. The more money I make, the more I'll put into it. So where did I even trade to make this money? So what I did was a lot of scalping. It was a heavy share size. And when the market sells off, I tend to go heavier. And I'm buying at least a minimum of 1,000 shares. So this obviously isn't for everybody, but you just have to follow a stop loss is the biggest thing. So right here, when the RSI was low, it was around 35. I bought this dip over here around 51.8. And then I wrote it up with 1,000 shares. And I wrote that for a point. That was $1,000 right there. Then I looked for another RSI entry. And it was a little bit higher here on this RSI. I bought right here at 34. But because it was showing strength and it approached the 200 EMA sold off, I figured let's try to see if we can get one more ride up. Bought it here around a 51.50, wrote it up to 52.5. There's another $1,000 gain. And then I bought down here actually when it first broke 50. And we went over this last night. I went over support and resistance, and 50 was a number that I was watching. So I bought it around the I think it was like 49.9, and I was actually off by a little bit, and then wrote it up, and then there's my gains. So it was a nice trade. The NASDAQ is definitely selling off. Something to be careful about. But I'm putting my gains in long term. I keep my day trading cash on the side. And then I just keep adding the gains to 1Q. Because when you look at this over the 6 months, this is a massive sell-off. I mean, it was at a high of $63. Now it's down to 51. So I have an average price around $53. So I'm very happy about this. And massive red bars. Look at these red bars. You can see the volume right here. This is an opportunity. If you're a long-term investor, it's time to start throwing some money in and start adding to this because you're not going to look at this for 20, 30 years. It doesn't matter. It's a 19 on the RSI. Just let the money grow over time. And you're not going to get the bottom. My average is like $53, but that's still pretty good. But we'll see. It might sell off even more until Powell speaks on Wednesday. So just something to think about. RSI is super low. Long-term investment. I do 1Q. I've always been adding to them. I add to them as well. I added a little bit to FDRV. Something tells me I made a bad move with this, but it is what it is. I'm already have like $4,500 invested in them. We're going to hold on to them long term. We're going to see where they go. They've completely sold off. They went from $30 down to 22. We added a little bit to them too, but because the NASDAQ moves so much more, I just put pretty much all of my gains into the 1Q. But as you can see, I mean, this is completely oversold. We're on the 1-year RSI of 19 right now. This is completely oversold. If you have the patience, you have the time, you have support levels right here as well at $50 and down here at $48. So just sending an FYI, a quick update. Good gains today. Definitely a good trading day. It's not always like that, but lately the trading's been on my side, especially for the month of January. We've been doing really well, and we're up 7,300 on the year right now, which is a great start to the year.